Welcome to Storytime, presented by the Briddell Family Foundation. I am Jackson Winder, and today I'm reading Where the Wild Things Are, written and illustrated by Maurice Sendak. Don't Let the Pigeons Stay Up Late, written and illustrated by Williams. The Snowy Day, written and illustrated by Ezra Keats. And I Love You So Much, written and illustrated by Marianne, Richmond. My name is Jackson, and this is Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind and another. His mother called him Wild Thing, and Max said, "I'll eat you up," so he was sent to bed without eating anything. That very night, in Max's room, a forest grew and grew and grew until his ceiling hung with vines and the walls became the world all around. And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max, and he sailed off through the night and day. And in and out of weeks, and almost over a year, to where the wild things are. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth, and roared their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. So Max said, "Be still," and tamed them with a magic trick. Staring into all the yellow eyes without blinking once, and they were frightened and called him the most wild thing of all. And made him king of all the wild things. And now, cried Max, "let the wild rumpus start." And this is them jumping and having fun. And then they were swimming on the trees. And they had a little parade. "Now stop," said Max, and sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. And Max, the king of all the wild things, was lonely and wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. Then, all around from far across the world, he smelled good things to eat, so he gave up being king of where the wild things are. But the wild things cried, "Oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so." And Max said no. The wild things roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye, and sailed back over a year and in and out of weeks and through a day, and into the night of his very own room, where he found his supper waiting for him. And it was still hot. The end. And that was Where the Wild Things Are. My next book is called Don't Let the Pigeons Stay Up Late, written by Williams. First of all, I'm not even tired. In fact, I'm in the mood for a hot dog party. What do you say? No? I hear there's a good show about birds on TV tonight. Should be very educational. How about 5 more minutes? Come on, what's 5 minutes in the grand scheme of things? What? I'm not tired. You know, we never get to talk anymore. Tell me about your day. Oh, I've got a great idea. We could count the stars. Can I have a glass of water? Studies show that pigeons hardly need any sleep at all. It's the middle of the day in China. I'll go to bed early tomorrow night instead. Hey, ho ho. This here pigeon just won't go. Please. My bunny wants to stay up too. You can't say no to a bunny, can you? Yawn. Okay, that was not a yawn. I was stretching. Yawn. 110% awake. You haven't heard the yawn last of me. Great work. Thanks. The end. Next is The Snowy Day by Ezra Keats. One winter morning, Peter woke up and looked out the window. Snow had fallen during the night. It covered everything as far as he could see. After breakfast, he put on his snowsuit and ran outside. The snow was piled up very high along the streets to make a path for walking. Crunch, crunch, crunch. His feet sank into the snow. He walked with his toes pointing out like this. He walked with his toes pointing in like that. Then he dragged his feet slowly to make tracks. And he found something sticking out of the snow that made a new track. It was a stick that was just right for smacking a snow-covered tree. Down fell the snow, plop, on top of Peter's head. He thought it would be fun to join the big boys in their snowball fight, but he knew he wasn't old enough, not yet. So, he made a smiling snowman, and he made angels. He pretended he was a mountain climber. He climbed up a great big tall, heaping mountain of snow and slid all the way down. He picked up a handful of snow and another and still another. He packed them round and firm and put the snowball in his pocket for tomorrow. Then he went into his warm house. He told his mother all about his adventures while she took off his wet socks. And he thought and thought and thought about them. Before he got into bed, he looked in his pocket. His pocket was empty. The snowball wasn't there, and he felt very sad. While he slept, he dreamed that the snow had melted all the snow away. But when he woke up, his dream was gone. The snow was still everywhere. New snow was falling. After breakfast, he called to his friend from across the hall and then went out together into the deep, deep snow. The end. This one's called I Love You So Much by Marianne and Richard. I love you. How much? So much. How much is so? Way, way, way more than you know. I love you as brilliant as each sparkling star, and as way out as space. I love you that far. I love you as gigantic as a great lion's roar, and as deep as the ocean. I love you much more. That is a lot, you say, but how did it start? Where did love come from to be in your heart? You put it there, really. When you and I met, and I knew for certain, without you, I'd fret. I love you as awesome as a thundery sky, and as soaring as mountains. I love you that high. Do you love me every day? You ask without doubting, or does love go up and down like a teetering seesaw? I love you as steady as the earth rounds the sun, though some days of life are the farthest from fun. Like when you feel mad, you ask with distress, cause I've broken the rules or made a big mess. Or when I'm unkind and your feelings are blue, do you love me although I do what I do? I love you being nice and when you're cranky too. I love you without liking the naughty things you do. My love you doesn't change like the temper of the days. It's a certain kind of thing in many different ways. You're my sweetie, my dear, my smile and my laughter. You're my playmate always and my joy ever after. Hanging out with you is where I want to be, eating ice cream sundaes or watching TV. Under your umbrella, behind you on a bike, by you and beside you is what I really like. Even when I'm sick, I can't get out of bed. Do you love me better healthy than with fever in my head? I love you sick or able. You're always you to me. The one I love forevermore, undeniably. I love you. How much? So much. How much is so? Way, way, way more than you know. Yeah. Bye. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this session of Storytime. Please click subscribe to enjoy more videos like this. And remember, keep reading because reading is fun.